The Teen Titans have dealt with their fair share of dark and scary situations, particularly after the group evolved into the new Teen Titans in 1980, with a new group of young superheroes joining up to take on Titan member Raven's demonic father, Trigon the Terrible. Since the group has endured a whole lot of drama and a whole lot of tragedy, some of which might even shock you. So today we are counting down the top 10 scary Teen Titan facts everyone forgets, because these kids have gone through some major shit over the years. Let's get to it. Starting off our list with one of the OG members of the Teen Titans, in at 10, why Donna Troy was created. When the Teen Titans first debuted in the comics, it was in the Brave and the Bold issue 54 in 1964. The team was comprised of DC's sidekick characters, Robin, Kid Flash, Wally West, and Aqualad. But by the time issue 60 rolled around, they had adopted Teen Titans as their group name, and Donna Troy had joined the group as Wonder Girl. But unlike her teammates, Donna's reason for existing in the comics wasn't just to connect to younger demographics to improve comic book sales. She was the byproduct of the comics industry undergoing some drastic changes thanks to psychiatrist Frederick Wortham and his book Seduction of the Innocent, which attempted to correlate comic books with bad behavior in kids. He claimed a lot of outlandish things, including that Wonder Woman was a lesbian because she was depicted as a strong, independent woman. Right. In the aftermath of the Senate hearing that Wortham's book was catalyst to, DC had to change her character to make her more acceptable to parents, which included creating a Wonder family in which Diana would appear with her younger versions of herself and her mother. The teen version of herself was dubbed Wonder Girl. She eventually became her own character, Donna Troy, and Wonder Woman's sister. So all in all, Donna was created to make Wonder Woman look less queer. Fun. And at number 9, Donna Troy was recreated. So, Donna Troy has had a bit of a confusing history, as you can probably gauge from our last number. Now, after a whole story arc where she got married, had a kid who was prophesized to grow up into an evil dictator, who she then gave up her powers for in order to keep him and herself alive, she would eventually get her powers back, returning to the Titans under the name Troya. That happened after that husband turned into an ex-husband and her kid had died in a car crash. FYI. Bleak shit. Superheroes can't have love. By the time Wonder Woman issue 136 rolled around, Donna was wiped from reality's memory, and the newly reincarnated Diana would use her lasso to bind Donna and Wally West together, using Wally's memories of Donna to fill her soul and recreate her, rather than, going to another part of the multiverse and using one of those Donnas to do the same thing. So naturally, this move would have greater implications later on Donna's psyche, with the character constantly questioning if this version of herself was really true to who she was, or was merely just Wally's interpretation of her. Basically, she lived in a perma-existential crisis for a while because of this. Come on, Wonder Woman, you should know better. And at number 8, Dick's bad hair. Moving from trauma to bad hairstyles. Dick Grayson is often considered to be one, if not the hottest character in comics, but dude has been victimized by some really bad hairstyles over the years. In 1992, he had a mullet. This occurred in New Titans issue 88 when Mirage, who was disguised as Starfire at the time, convinced Dick that he needed a new look, stating, I quote, "It's the 1990s out there, sweetheart, and it's time you finally joined up." That mullet eventually grew out and became a ponytail. But luckily for readers everywhere, that ponytail would get snipped off by a member of the False Face Society, which was a group working for Black Mask. This occurred during a fight in 1996's Nightwing issue 1, so clearly making a point of snipping it off was something that Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel really wanted to see happen on the run. For the record, Starfire's hair was real intense too for a while and gave her a couple of extra feet in height. And Beast Boy also had a mullet in the 90s too, around the same time, so just mullets galore. So many mullets. Up next at number 7, Speedy was a junkie. Speedy, aka Roy Harper Jr., was the first of Green Arrow's wards. He debuted in More Fun Comics issue 73 in 1941 as an orphan whose father was a forest ranger who would sacrifice his life to save that of a Navajo medicine chief. That chief, named Bravebow, would raise Roy Jr., and eventually after he passed away, Green Arrow would ask Roy to become his ward. Roy would join up with the Teen Titans after Donna Troy did, who he actually began to date, but after the group disbanded for the first time, him and Donna broke up. Now around the same time, Green Arrow would lose his fortune and was neglectful of Speedy. So while his mentor was away on a cross-country adventure, Speedy would become addicted to heroin, which eventually led to the award-winning story Snowbirds Don't Fly, appearing in the Green Lantern Green Arrow crossover series. The two titular heroes were investigating junkies when, lo and behold, they discover that Speedy is a junkie. Green Arrow loses his shit and even beats Roy up over it. Speedy then quits being his ward, and then another junkie dies, there's a funeral, and then Speedy recovers on his own, returning to to Oliver at that funeral at the end of the story to be like, hey man, I got over my addiction. Can I be your ward again? Bad timing, Speedy. There's a dead guy who's being buried in the ground who overdosed and his mom is crying there and you're like, take me back. Timing is everything. And at 6, Starfire's torture. Starfire's origins are pretty dark. So, her sister is Blackfire, a character who first appeared in New Teen Titans issue 22 in 1982. When she showed up, things got a little bit weird. So, Blackfire harbored a lot of hate for her sister, feeling denied of the throne of their home planet Tamaran because of her sister, even though it was not Starfire's fault at all. The day Blackfire was born, the Citadel Empire had committed genocide on thousands of Tamaranians, so she was believed to be a curse due to association. Because of that, it would be deemed that she wouldn't get the throne and instead her younger sister Starfire would. Blackfire would find her own way to the throne though, selling out her home and working with the Citadel Empire. And of course, she tortured Starfire. She would sell Starfire into slavery, sold her for 1 year at a time, like slaves on lease, because apparently that is what they do out there. Her masters could do anything to her as long as she wasn't killed, and at the end of every year Blackfire would get her back and then torture her some more. The torture appeared to be a lot of physical labor, but it was implied that Starfire was sold into marriages with aliens and was likely raped. Eventually though, her sister sentenced her to be executed. But before that could happen, they ended up being enslaved by the Scions, an evil alien race of scientists, who performed deadly experiments on the two of them. Eventually Kori got away, but she freed her sister despite all of that crap that she had pulled. And what did Blackfire do? She still tried to get Kori executed. Kori escaped that too and fled to Earth, so when Blackfire found her on Earth and kidnapped her, some major went down. Not only did the two duke it out violently, but Blackfire pulled some really messed up crap to the rest of the Titans, and then shot them into space to die, all just to hurt her sister. Talk about sadistic. And at 5, JERICHO. JERICHO is a character who was introduced in Tales of the Teen Titans issue 43 in 1984. He was a character who was part of a movement by Marv Wolfman and George Perez in establishing the Titans as a team who was not just the, I quote, Justice Little League, as Perez put it. The son of Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, JERICHO was a mute, but wasn't born that way. When he was a child, he was held hostage by a terrorist group called Jackal, who was sent by the Korak president as a means of retaliation against Deathstroke. Although he managed to rescue his son, they cut JERICHO's throat, which rendered him mute. Things only got worse for him from there on out. After going to the Teen Titans, he would become possessed by the souls of Azarath, who were originally coming for Raven, but JERICHO's psychic powers made it easier to go after him instead. His throat was repaired and he could speak again, but during the Titans Hunt storyline, the real JERICHO resurfaced and begged his father to kill him. So that's what Daddy Dearest did. Luckily for JERICHO, he would live on, with his soul apparently jumping into Deathstroke after Papa stabbed him right through the heart. And at 4, Dick Grayson was sexually assaulted. Remember how earlier on we mentioned that Dick got his haircut by Mirage pretending to be Starfire? Well, it gets much worse than just the mullet. Mirage is the character who first debuted in the New Titans issue 79 in 1991. She was a member of the Team Titans from the future, the ones who went back in time with the goal of killing DONNA Troy before she could give birth to her son who would grow up to be an evil dictator. While that was going on, Mirage ended up changing her appearance to look like Starfire, and she seduced Dick Grayson, sleeping with him, with Dick believing that he was sleeping with Starfire, although sensing that something was off about her. Now, for a little bit of context, back in the future, Mirage was in a romantic relationship with the Nightwing of her timeline, although that Nightwing was not Dick Grayson, which we would learn later on. Back to the present, Mirage eventually reveals herself to Grayson, who freaks out about the whole thing. To add insult to injury, Panther then appears and starts calling Dick a slut, all as the realization that he's been sexually assaulted sinks in. Come on, Panther. She just like pops up and is like, Dick, you're a slut. I believe it's actually, Dick, you slut. In at number 3, Deathwing rapes Mirage. Things only get worse for Mirage's story, as you can probably guess from the title of her number. Remember that Nightwing from the future that we mentioned? So he would travel to the past and reunite with Mirage, but the evil version of Raven decided that she was going to use Nightwing's body as the host for the Trigon Seed. She ends up going after this future version of Nightwing, who, just as a reminder, is not actually Dick Grayson. He's just another dude with a Nightwing persona, who, confusingly enough, looks just like Dick Grayson. This Nightwing would become corrupt and violent, which warrants him the new name of Deathwing. Deathwing goes to where Mirage is staying and then rapes her and impregnates her, and ultimately traumatizes the shit out of her. And at number 2, Deathstroke and TERRA. In 1984, there was a story arc in the New Teen Titans called the Judas Contract, in which a metahuman named TERRA joins the team, infiltrating them as a means of destroying them. Let's backtrack a sec though. TERRA joined the team thanks to her Earth manipulation powers. She formed a romantic connection with Beast Boy and gained the rest of the team's trust, except for Raven, who's like, I'm onto you, girl. Then it's revealed that TERRA is working with Deathstroke, that she smokes cigarettes, and her and the mercenary are implied to have a sexual relationship. She's also depicted as as a total psychopath. George Perez would state that he and Marv Wolfman knew that she was going to be a traitor from the start and that she was going to be killed off. He literally stated of the character, I quote, "I wanted her to be cute but not beautiful. She looked like a young girl. I gave her a substantial overbite, her eyes were wide, her body was slim, she wasn't particularly busty. I wanted her to look almost elven, so that when you see her for the first time wearing full makeup and dressed in a provocative outfit where you know she's just been in bed with Deathstroke, that it does jab you a bit. Whoa, good god, this little girl's a slut." He actually said that. By the end of it, she's overcome by her own hatred, Slade abandons her, and then she ends up killing herself. Man, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's just too much. But of course, last but not least, we have our number 1. Raven crashed Dick and Kori's wedding, and it got really weird. Despite Dick getting assaulted by Mirage, he and Kori actually worked through it, and he proposed to her. They were set to be married in New Titans issue 100, but the wedding ceremony was interrupted by Raven, who at the time was evil, and some pretty insane shit went down. Literally right before the priest is about to announce them man and wife, he gets obliterated, burnt down to a skeleton, and Raven shows up wearing basically a handful of ribbons with Deathwing in tow. It gets even more absurd. She creates a force field around herself and Starfire, blocking out everyone else at the wedding. Dick is literally on the outside like banging on the force field the entire time. She tells Starfire that she isn't really Raven. She's just wearing Raven's skin basically, and she's the summation of all of the 100 children Raven's father Trigon had sired and killed. Starfire seems to miss that though, still addressing her as Raven, telling her that she's scared. Raven then says, I quote, "After all, my love, you love me as much as I love you. You love me." She then forces Starfire to admit it back, then she straddles her, opens up her mouth, implying that the glow emitting from it are the souls of all those dead Trigon kids, and then proceeds to make out with Starfire, declaring that she will be reborn. The whole thing is really intense and really terrifying. Alright, there we have it friends. What other scary Teen Titans facts can you think of? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know. If you guys dug this video, spread that love, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more Titans lists. We've got a ton of them on our channel, so definitely check it out, or click the playlist currently flashing on your screen for more fun videos. In the meantime though, thanks for watching friends. I'll catch you all in the next one.